place. Da-na-na-na, Mac and Perry.
Go live to create.
Da-na-na-na, Mac and Perry. Invite you to stay.
Hello and welcome back to TELUS Storyhives on location in Lloydminster. We're at the Studio Encore Dance Center. My name is Danielle J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this is my lovely co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Danielle Neron, owner of Studio Encore Dance Center.
yes, thank you so much for taking the time and energy to meet with us.
Absolutely.
And for inviting us into your studio here. It means a lot to us.
Welcome.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to dive into our icebreaker segments. So I think we'll just dive in.
Sure.
We usually start with some trivia, and Lloydminster's trivia specifically. How are you with trivia usually?
Not great, but I'll give it a shot.
That's okay. Yeah, and we prepared trivia for each other, so that'll be fun as well. Our first piece of trivia for you, Danielle, is Lloydminster is known as the what city of Canada? Is it A, the split city of Canada, B, the border city of Canada, C, the 50-50 city of Canada, or D, the half and half city of Canada?
Would be B, border city.
You got it, yes. And it's bisected by Meridian Ave, 50th Ave, I believe. That's what we found on Google.
Yeah,
so.
that's right, yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
Awesome. And like I said, we've prepared trivia for each other. So yeah, go ahead and read that first piece of trivia from Michael for me. We'll see how well I know him.
So it says, my creative practice revolves around dance. Michael isn't much of a dancer, but once got roped into performing what style of dance for an event in Calgary?
Ooh.
A, hip-hop dancing with senior group. B, swing dancing with members of a circus troupe. C, salsa dancing with fitness instructors. Or D, line dancing with scientists.
Ooh, I feel like B or D, the line dancing with scientists could very much be the case. I know that your partner is a scientist. But also B, I'm trying to think of which one maybe came most recently. I'm going to go with D, the line dancing with scientists.
Should have been B, swing dancing with a member of a circus troupe.
I was close, Right on, right on. Yeah, I guess I'll throw it to Michael for some more Lloydminster trivia.
Okay.
Lloydminster. Look, this is a good one for you. So the Vic Juba Community Theatre Centre is a performing arts centre in Lloydminster, hosting dance concerts, dance productions, the symphony, theatrical productions, festivals, comedians, and illusionists. How many event days do they work each year, if you had to guess? Is it A, 90 days a year, B, 120, C, 175, or D, 365 days a year?
Event days.
I'm going to go 365.
Really? Okay.
I feel like they would offer an event every single day if possible.
If possible.
Like if it serves the community, they would be open, I feel.
I think, yeah. According to their website, they said 175 days a year is how often they're doing it.
So like every other day, basically.
Basically, yeah. I feel like that's might be what but I feel like, they're really good for our community, and like I feel like if there was a show that needed to go, they would be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. I believe there's one more piece of trivia that I have prepared for Michael. Let's see how well he knows me.
All right. So Daniel says, I've practiced many dance styles over the years. What style of dance did Daniel first find joy in and still can do to this day? A, salsa, B, popping and locking, C, ballet, D, breakdancing.
Now there's two that come to mind. Maybe could be popping and locking. Could be break dancing. I don't think the other two I've heard of him doing much, but he might have in the past. I'm going to go with popping and locking. Why not?
Correct. Nice. And very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, I think my cousin and I were in a parking lot when I was younger.
Absolutely. That's how it goes.
The music was playing, and we just started, and I got hooked on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Can you pop and lock?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
When I was younger, for sure.
Sure. We won't ask you to do it right now. Yeah. Awesome. We'll move along. Our next mini game here is just this or that.
Okay.
So we'll just pick something out of the hat at random. I'll let you do the honors.
Okay.
Give it a read, and we'll all answer. Yeah.
All right. Winter or summer?
Winter or summer? I don't think people can see outside right now, but we're right on the cusp. It should be sunny outside, and it's not right now, but I would go with summer. I love going for hikes or just barbecues in the backyard with friends. I would just go with summer. Yeah. How about you?
It's not a question. It's
Yeah.
summer. For so many reasons, summer, for sure.
Mhm.
I'm going to go summer.
Has that always been the case for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I only tried skiing once, been brought back down by security. I can't do those kinds of things. So it's not something that winter sports are not my favorite.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely summer. I think the world likes me in summer better than winter as well. So
That's super
yeah.
fair. That's super fair. And how about you, Michael?
Yeah. Normally I love summer, but just because you two said summer, I think I'm going to say winter this time. I think it's underappreciated. I do like the winter activities, getting outside in the mountains in winter. Not so much summer. I'd love summer too, but winter, get outside and really enjoy that crisp, cold air, and it's really nice. So this time I'm answering winter.
You've also got the beard to keep you warm.
Keep you warm, yeah.
Nice, awesome. We'll see what else we get here with this or that. We've got, this is kind of fitting, sandcastles or snowmen.
Okay. I'm actually going to go, although I'm a summer girl, I'm going to go snowmen because I find sand gets everywhere. And as a mom of 3 that has to clean my house, I'm going to go with mopping versus vacuuming. So I'm going to go with snowmen.
That is super fair. That is super fair. I think I would go with sandcastles. I'll stay with the summer theme for myself.
Yeah.
Just being on a beach sounds lovely. And I would have to go with sandcastles personally. There's no wrong answers. How about you, Michael?
I'm going to just double down on the snowmen. Out in winter, I haven't made a snowman in a long time, but why not? Get out and enjoy the snow. I made an igloo once, and I slept in it. That was fun. So, snowman today.
Nice.
Nice. We'll do a few more of these.
All right. Okay. Build it or buy it?
Build it or buy it. I usually say I wish I were a build it person, but I think that more often than not, I do end up buying things. That's where I'm usually at with that question. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just where I'm at personally. How about you, Michael?
I'd say I'm more of a build it person. I like to build things whenever I can. I like the process of it and how you can modify things. And I just grew up building stuff, so it's what I like to do. So build instead of buy when I can. And you, Danielle?
I think I'd like to be a build it person, to be honest with you, but I'm more of a buy it person. My son just got a 3D printer, so that's really cool. Like he's able to do things for us around the house. Yeah. So that's been nice, but at the end of the day, I'd have to be a buy it person just because of my skills.
That's super fair. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll pick another one here. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, I'm both.
Yeah?
I'm both.
How?
Well, I teach at night, right? Yeah. So I have a nighttime job versus daytime job. So, I'm around loud music, a lot of people. So I need a few hours to shut down when I get home. So I am up late, just kind of decompress, read, do whatever I need to. But then I have to be up early because I'm a mom. So I guess I'm kind of both.
Do you feel like that would ever change? Like maybe once your kids have grown up, do you think you would? What would you resort back to perhaps?
Well, my husband's an early bird.
Okay.
So I think I'm always just I like to spend time with him in the morning, have coffee with him. So I feel like I'm truly a night owl, but I would always be an early bird just to spend that extra quiet time with him. So I think, I end up being both, but I would be truly a night owl, I think. Yeah.
Super fair.
What about you?
I'm very much a night owl. I can get up in the morning if I have to. But typically I'm just up later, and that's always been the case since I was a kid. I think I get it from my dad.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dad, I guess. How about you, Michael?
Definitely a morning person. I like to get up early in the morning and start the day, and I like to go climbing, so I'll go climbing in the morning if I can or whatever. So definitely get up early. I do not like staying up late. I remember I was once out later than I wanted to be, and the person's like, we should keep going out. I'm like, no, I like libraries. I'd like to go home now because it was 11 o'clock at night. And it was just, I'd rather be at home at night. So,
Super fair. Awesome. We'll move swiftly along to our last little mini game here. It's called Tumbling Towers. Usually we try not to take from the top 3
Okay.
rows.
Okay.
We're not picky about which one you pick first.
Okay.
Feel free to just find a loose one like that.
Okay.
And we'll go from that. And
Okay.
yeah, each block corresponds to a question. I'll let you do the honors and go
Okay.
first.
Well, I'm going to do the one that you've already pulled
Do it.
through.
You might as well.
And
Yeah.
it's 3.
Number 3. Oh, and we'll pop it on top as
Oh,
well.
okay. Right. Okay.
Our question is, what is your favorite film? Could also do genre.
Okay.
But this is a fitting
This
question.
is a loaded question for me because I'm a
Okay.
movie fanatic.
Yeah.
So if I have to say my favorite film, I think I'm going to, it's a heavy one too. I think I'm going to have to go Shawshank Redemption. So that would be
Ooh.
my favorite film.
Yeah, okay. I can feel that. That's
And like
awesome.
actually like it was a very underrated film when it first came out. It didn't do very well.
Yeah.
And now today it's like one of the best films ever made. So it's
Yeah.
actually like such a hero film. I love
Yeah,
that. So that
that's
would be my
awesome.
favorite.
Do you remember like when you first saw it?
Yeah, I first saw my dad.
Mm,
And of course I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was older, but we had the cassette.
okay.
My dad was my dad's a big movie person, so that's where I get it from.
Mm.
And I remember the first time I watched it and it stuck. It was
Mhm.
something that left a really big imprint and I've loved it ever since.
Mhm.
So I would say that one, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah, I love that movie, but I think the movie for me that had that similar sort of effect
Yeah.
from what it sounds like is definitely The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yep.
I love the story and how it's told visually, and Ben Stiller's amazing in
Yep.
it, and that he also directed it, I believe. and
Yeah.
I just find that fascinating, and so yeah, mine would be Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Nice. Good choice.
How about you, Michael?
Yes, I could choose a few. The one that's coming to the top of my mind right now, maybe not favorite film, but film that I'm like, kind of like just changed the way I kind of thought of filmmaking is Christopher Nolan's Memento from maybe the late 90s. I mean, just like the film is like backwards. You know,
Yeah.
how he reveals and how he makes you feel how the character feels through that storytelling. I'm like, this is like, it just kind of blew my mind when I saw that was possible with the film. So I'm going to say that one today.
Love that.
Nice.
Love
I
that.
would love to watch any one of
Oh,
those 3
yeah.
movies. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess I should get a tile here. That one looks pretty good. We'll do 34. What's one talent that you wish you had, other than maybe skiing or snowboarding? What's a talent that you wish you had that comes to mind?
I wish that a talent that I wish I had.
Mm.
I wish that I was a little bit better at sports because I married a sports guy.
Okay.
It's a great balance for my kids. It's nice to have because I wouldn't be able to kind of direct them in the right direction. But I wish that I had a bigger passion for sports too. I'm slowly getting there, but I wish I was a little bit more athletic in the sports. I'm great with dance, but as far as athletics, that's a talent I wish I had. Even just to understand them quicker than my husband's had to teach me. So I feel like that would be a talent I wish I had.
What's like the one sport that you're like, that you could like sit and watch and maybe understand right now to some extent?
Golf.
Golf?
My husband's got me into golf. So I would say
wow.
golf is like, I can actually sit with him and watch it on TV and be like, oh, like I'm into it.
Okay.
The one that I can't get into
Yeah.
and the most difficult one is curling.
Right.
My husband loves curling and I just stare at it and it doesn't make any sense to me and he's explained it 1,000 times.
Right.
Curling would be the most difficult. But yeah, golfing I'm starting to really grow a love for. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What's a talent that I wish I had? The thing that's coming to mind just from the trivia, I guess, is breakdancing.
Yeah.
I can pop and lock, but breakdancers blow my mind.
It's really crazy.
Yeah. And so I wish that if I had started 20 years ago, maybe, then I would just love to be able to breakdance. Start spinning on my back. Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Michael?
Yes, I think for me, my answer today would be playing a musical instrument. My family's a bit musical, and I never took the hang of it and never loved it. But it's very impressive just how someone can like take an instrument and make music. I just don't understand how it works. So I think that'd be neat to be able to just pick up an instrument and play and have that be a thing. I don't ever have a need to, but it'd be fun. So that would be something, a talent I wish I had.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. I'll let you do the honors and pick another block here.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, it has fallen before.
I feel like
Twice.
I've tried to. Okay, this one.
Oh yeah, you got that one. You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay. What is the highlight of your week? Has it happened yet? Has it not happened yet?
That's a hard one because we're going to dance competition tomorrow.
Yeah.
So highlight of my week.
Yeah.
Um.
Other than this, of course. I mean.
Yeah, this is cool. Was really excited for this.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, I think the highlight of my week was we did video on Monday with all my students. We had like 70 kids in one room going over, their performances on the weekend. And just, seeing that they were really good about their feedback. They were really positive. They took the weekend really maturely, and yeah, that was the highlight of my week so far. Is just seeing how resilient they are. I love that about them. So that was like the best part of my week so far. Yeah.
Nice.
So what about you?
That's really beautiful. Yeah. Highlight of my week, I guess. I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time with my co-host over
There you go.
Michael.
Nice.
We get to in our chill time, I guess, when we're not doing this, is just we get to go to restaurants and just hang out.
Yeah.
So that might be, that's the highlight of my week.
That's
How about
good.
you, Michael?
Great. Me too. Definitely the highlight
Yeah.
of my week. It's tricky, right? Because now I can't say that it's
Not.
all the features we've been doing.
I mean, you
or
can.
one of the features, because I can't favor one over the other. I've really been enjoying the trip overall so far.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been good to just do a whole bunch of interviews and meet a whole bunch of people. And I couldn't pick one, so hanging out, traveling,
Sweet.
interviewing people, it's great.
Awesome.
The whole week.
Awesome.
Nice. I think we have time for one more here,
'Kay.
so we'll see what we get, and then we'll move along. There we go. That one looks good. Oh, there's two there.
Yeah,
isn't
you have
there?
two. Yeah, you definitely do. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Nice. Number 24. What have you tried that scared you? What's the first thing that comes to mind that would have scared you?
What have I tried that scared me?
I know for myself, like going on stage as a performer, like as an
that's
actor.
what scared me.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
for
I know that it
sure.
was at one time, but
Yeah, I can't even remember it being scary at one. Like,
nice.
I think, you know what? This summer, my husband wanted to go to Wisconsin Dells, so we drove all the way there with my whole family. And it is the water park capital of the world.
Okay.
It's the most water parks. And I went on some that like I didn't think I was going to survive, and I did. It was the scariest thing I've ever done, but it was fun. It was fun in the long run. So yeah, that's what comes to mind right now is like intense like water slides that were crazy that only kids should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you say your whole family, is that like 4 people, or is that like your whole
Well,
family?
just me, my husband, and my
Okay.
3 kids. Yeah,
Nice.
we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pack up in the car. We like road trips, so
Mhm.
we just drove 30 hours, got there, and went on every water slide that they had.
Nice. How about you, Michael?
Something I did that scared me. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was scary per se, but it just comes to mind when you ask. A little while back, I did a kind of an impromptu performance at a science conference, where that question would have come from, for my partner's work. They had a conference going on in Banff, and they needed some entertainment, so I wrote some sketches and performed them in about 24 hours notice. So that was like, okay, we're doing this. It was fun, and I liked it, but I guess that's what came to mind when it was like that experience that would have been potentially scary.
Yeah.
Just to have that kind of all of a sudden pressure and people from all over the world, but they had a great time. They got some laughs, so it was
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're all very brave here. I love
Yeah.
it. Awesome. Yeah, that is all the time that we have for this
'Kay.
segment. So again, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
and energy here. And I'm
Mhm.
excited for your interview coming up. And yeah, this has been TELUS Storyhives on location in Lloydminster at the Studio Encore Dance Center. My name is Danielle Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability, and this is
Danielle Neron from Studio Encore Dance Center.
Awesome. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TELUS Storyhives on location in Lloydminster. We are at the studio Encore Dance Center, and my name is Danielle J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Danielle Neron from Studio Encore Dance Center.
Yeah, again, thank you so much for taking time and energy to sit with us and inviting us into your space. Yeah, I'm super excited to dive into your interview and get to know a bit more about your artistic journey as a dancer and teacher and so much more.
All right.
Yeah, I think if we just wind back the clock and we just kind of go from the beginning,
Okay.
What would be like your oldest memory that you can remember of engaging with art? Was it dance or was it something else?
It was dance for sure. My mom was a Highland dancer. So she was, she's Scottish. And so her parents put her in Highland dancing. And then she was teaching Highland dancing in her basement. There was no Highland dancing in Lloydminster. There was a ballet school, but there was no Highland dancing. So she decided to kind of start it up. My dad built her a studio in the basement, and I'd be hopping around watching her teach these girls. And that's my earliest memory of anything really, is just watching my mom teach in our home. Yeah.
And what does that mean to you now? Like that memory of seeing your mom doing that, and
yeah, like it's tricky. That's a really huge kind of thing to describe, because basically, like, I don't think she realized that at that moment she was laying out the rest of my life for me. So I mean, I look back at that and I kind of think about just, the journey from a basement to where we are now is quite, like, it's amazing. And so, yeah, I feel like that was like, it's just crazy to kind of see how things evolved over the years and how she really did it for me and my sister and my brother. Like, we all danced, and yeah, it was just, it's special. Yeah.
What kind of, when you think back to that, like, what kind of feelings do you feel about it now? But also, like, in the moment, like, I imagine there was a sense of safety and just like joy in the room, and also discipline. Like, what kind of things come to mind when you think?
Originally, like, I think my mom's dreams were only just to teach Highland, but at the time, because my mom taught Highland, there wasn't really a place for, I mean, like, the competitors didn't really want my oldest sister. So my mom could see that my sister, I was like one. So my mom could see that my sister was really talented. And so it started with just renting a space, hiring another teacher to kind of fill in the gaps of what she wasn't trained in. Right. And, growing up in a studio and having that spotlight, I would say the word that comes to mind first is pressure. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to, it taught me loyalty more than anything, because, everything that I did was under a magnifying glass. As an athlete, as a dancer, you're the studio owner's child. So, you must be the best, but you don't want to be too good so that other people can't feel like they, can measure up. You have to not have bad days in front of client. Like, it was more difficult than people think. And I think it, taught me a lot about family. Hence, we are a very, very close family. So I think that, maybe there might be a lot of dancers out there that are like, oh, I wish I was the studio owner's child. But it was a little bit of a difficult journey in at the same time. But because I love dance so much, it really outweighed the struggles that a studio owner had, a child had. So it taught me a lot. Like, I was a really good employee at all my jobs because I was, working such a young age, helping my mom out. So honestly, it really did help me thrive in so many areas of my life. So I would say that it was definitely a happy place, a safe place for me, because my mom made the rules. I followed the rules. It was good. It was easy. And it was my second home. So it was an easy choice to continue on the legacy, right? So, yeah. I hope that kind of sums it up a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like it does. Yeah, that idea of pressure, but also loyalty. I think
confidence and yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, like kind of in your youth, what would have been like the next kind of milestone, I guess, along your journey there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is I did have dreams of going to university and doing other things, but the way things went in, you know, my mom's studio, I started teaching full time at 15 years old.
Right.
And that kind of shaped me as a teenager because I was responsible for children. And so I matured very fast, and I had to make different decisions than maybe other children would make in high school. What they were doing on the weekend, social media had just come out, so like you got to be, you know, I was a role model to a lot of kids, so that kind of shaped me for who I was as a teenager. And I feel like, yeah, like I kind of feel like I had to teach myself at a young age, and I started reaching out to teachers in the city in Edmonton, and found myself some mentors just with the direction that my mom's studio was going in, and I still have I just spoke to her yesterday. I have such a good bond with my mentors in Edmonton, and they helped me become who I am today, and with my mom and my sister as well. And yeah, I think that I had to kind of carve my own path and break down the walls of being known as just a small city studio. And I think that even as a 16-year-old, I was like, I want to be more than this. I want to be bigger than this. I know that we're located in a smaller population city, but I know that you know, we have a lot of talent here. And so I kind of started teaching full-time at 16, and my decision was to become the best teacher I possibly could be and build the most amazing studio that I could. And yeah, I look back at 16 and I'm glad that my mom believed in me, because I'm here doing exactly what I wanted, right? So I would say that outweighs all the medals, all the trophies, all the success that I had as a artist, as a dancer. I would say, it's the most thing I'm proud of, I guess.
And yeah, I love that idea of just like that vision, I guess. And that also that element of like loyalty to your city, but that you know, you can see a bit further, like you can see a bit more on the horizon for yourself, and therefore, you know, maybe your community.
Just like not feeling sorry for yourself. Like I didn't get the team that maybe I didn't get the experience that the cities were given, but instead of feeling sorry for myself, well, I'm going to create it for the kids beneath me and the kids of the next generation. So that's what I focused on, and it led me to my career. So I'm very thankful for it.
And I also just want to acknowledge, like, you know, for anybody who's younger that might see this, just that idea of being in your teens there and you know, finding those mentors. I feel like that can be a hard thing. So you know, tell me a bit more about that. Like, what inspired you to do that? Was it just out of necessity, or was there somebody encouraging you?
Well, just competing and seeing a teacher backstage that I felt was exactly kind of what I wish I had, and wanting to be like them, and seeing the talent and the work they were putting out on the stage. So just having enough confidence to reach out to them and say, I'm this kid in Lloyd, and I need some guidance, and I would like to make things bigger. And they've stayed with me for 22 years. And I still lean on them. I called them yesterday. So I feel like, again, just loyalty to someone that I looked up to, and now like I just have a great friendship versus that mentor. So like she leans on me for things now too. So it's really great.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And so what would have happened next? Like, if you started teaching in your teens there, you found a mentor, you know, what happened next?
Well, just like, you know, having my mom just deciding early on, like my sister as well had moved away to start her family. She was driving back and forth to help my mom. And so I had to take a leadership role very early on. Like I said, I was teaching full-time at 16 years old, ages 3 to kids that were my own age. And dance teachers were hard to find in a small community. So I knew I was like, I know I'm going to be good at this. So I've been in an environment that really praised, confidence and creativity. So I never doubted myself. So I definitely just worked really hard. Took a lot of classes, would drive to Edmonton on the weekends, take classes, educate myself. I never, ever had, and I think one of the things that got me to where I am today is I never had the mentality that I didn't have to stop learning. And I think that with dance, as it's evolving constantly from day to day to year, if you do think that you are done and that you don't need to keep learning and educating yourself, and I think it'll stall you as an artist.
Right.
Yeah. You have to keep learning. You have to.
Yeah.
And that makes your job super exciting too.
Right.
It never gets flat, right?
Right. There's also something I would love to touch on there about, do you feel like you ever like missed out on anything like in that time? Like,
oh, good question. No.
Okay.
Because when I look back on my life, like I have everything that I want. I preferred being in the role. I think it's easy for maybe people to say like, oh, like you didn't go to parties, and no, I had the opportunity. It's just I valued what I was doing more than that, and I experienced it, but I still made a decision that, I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and teach little 6-year-olds, and they're more important than this.
Sure.
And I've always been that way. So I had lots of fun, but I also, nothing gave me more, like I was way more prouder to do that for my mom and my family.
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't feel like I missed out. And I had, my parents always let me know that I could do whatever I wanted. I was very set that I wanted to work in radio, very convinced. But this is just where life took me, and I really love it. Still love it. So I don't think I missed out on anything.
No, don't doubt it. Yeah, that's awesome. So what would have happened next on your journey there? You were teaching, so in your 20s there, what was next kind of milestone?
My company. So I started an elite company, which started with 17 students, students that I had taught since they were little, students that were showing that they wanted more. And it's by invitation only, and it now is 78 kids. So it's grown, and I'm very proud of it. And it is to a point where the biggest and most talented studios know about my kids, and they're proud of our kids. And it is exactly what I dreamed of when I was 16. So it's 20s is when I started, I had the trust of my parents and my clients. I'd grown up a lot. I was married early, so I was a mom already. And I just was like, it's time, and it's grown, and it's built such a strong reputation, even being from Lloyd. So I'm really, really proud of that. That's really what I sunk my teeth into.
And so at what point did you start that? You were obviously working for Studio Encore. What was your role at Studio Encore when you started?
So I was just a teacher. My mom was still the sole owner, and my mom would beg to differ. My mom would say that I've literally helped own it and run it since I was a young kid, but I feel like I was just a full-time teacher, and I asked my mom if I could be the director of that program, and I could make the decisions for that program, and she gave that to me. And it was a small portion of the studio, and because she believes in me, because she knows, it's grown, so it grew so quickly, and it was very beneficial for her business, and she was very grateful. So when she stepped down and retired, she was very confident in how we were going to run things. Yeah.
And just for people who might not know,
Yeah.
what would have been the difference there? Like what constitutes an elite program?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So just a little bit more stricter guidelines of commitment as far as team, contracted type rules, and then training over 12 hours a week. So they're here 3 to 4 nights a week full after school. These are students that hold 95% averages. They are they're huge go-getter kids. I have tons that have graduated and are now doctors and dentists and like just amazing students. And I do believe that this program really keeps them like accountable for so many things and really set them up for success in their post-secondary schooling. So
beyond
dance. I've written a lot of college recommendation essays for these students, and they're amazing kids. So they're great. Yeah.
And tell me a bit more about like that first year and those first students, and like what was
my
that?
Guinea pigs.
Yeah. What was that like
sure.
for you?
It wasn't scary. I had a lot of support. By then, I had such amazing clients that were really like loving and supportive of me, and I had really grown their kids as students. So there was a lot of support there. I had the support of my mom. Like my mom always believed in me, and I had her to watch my whole life to see, how to handle things and how to handle things head on as well. And so although I was nervous to make that step into these higher level competitions, and it was everything that I wanted, and it was a great experience, which is why it's tripled in size, and it's great. It was great.
Nice. Okay, so you had started this elite program. At some point there, you were also married and started a family.
Yeah, I married someone from Ontario.
Okay.
He came here just stopping by for a year. He's a school teacher.
Okay.
He just stopped in town. He was trying to make his way to BC. He's from Northern Ontario, middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we were engaged after 5 months of dating, and then we got married and started a family. And we've been married for 16 years.
Nice.
So it's so I'm stuck here. I love it here.
Yeah, that's good.
He's stuck here too now.
That's super fair. And so started a family, started this elite program. You were a full-time teacher for Studio Encore. What would have happened next after that point?
I started expanding the staff because the success of the team and the success of just the competitive program as well, it was just growing at a rapid pace. And I feel like the universe just kind of brought these amazing teachers into my life. And I'm really proud that my staff have been with me for 8 years. Like I love that. Like I don't see them as employees. I see them as teammates. And we make decisions together because we're all involved in the growth of our students. And we're partners versus, and I'm a big advocate for not micromanaging their art. I really want them to, if they come to me and they want any help, it's the same thing. I can come to them as well. And I feel like that's really given them the opportunity to grow and the opportunity to feel like they can explore anything that they want to when creating their art. So I love the atmosphere we have with the staff.
Yeah. I'm super curious about how you maybe cultivate that, but just out of curiosity first, at that time, how big was your staff and how big is it now?
It was just this tight entity of me, my sister, and my mom.
Oh, okay.
I was just really scared to let anybody in because everything was so it was like a great just engine. Everything was working really well. And then there wasn't enough of us, it was just, there were so many students that we needed more space and more staff. And I just had this like one after the other, just these amazing people come into my life, and I'm like so grateful for them. And one of them I taught.
Okay.
So I taught her, she was one of my first students when I was 16. So just to see her as this brilliant person just makes me so happy that, you know, dance, she caught the bug and she has it too, you know? So it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm curious about, like, again, what was your role at that time when you started expanding your staff? Do you remember? Or is it kind of a blur?
Yeah, it was like really tricky because like my mom was getting older and she built an acreage out of town. So she liked to stay and enjoy nature and kind of get out of town. So I was taking a leadership role, and my mom offered me to become an owner.
Yeah.
And so it was time. So my role was getting larger, and my mom was taking a step back. And same with my sister is the same thing. So we decided to split the business. So I've always been in charge of staff.
Okay.
And yeah, just making sure that I had to have more hands, because that came, like, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into running a dance studio, more than just teaching dance, right? Just like, you know, hundreds of hours of ordering costumes and sequins and rhinestones and tiaras and whatever. So yeah, they just have really taken all that off my shoulders, and I'm able to kind of keep a very organized business because of them. So they know what I need, and I don't even have to ask. They know. Yeah, it's great.
And yeah, we're at your dance center now.
Right.
But I understand you had moved.
I did, yeah.
So when was that in your journey, like being at the older space? And
Yeah.
how long were you there?
Well, we were there for 6 years. We had purchased a building, and I remember the day we bought it, and we were going through the blueprints, and I went, this is not big enough for what I have in my mind.
Nice.
And within 2 years, we had to rent a second space. I knew it. I hate to be the one in the family that says, I told you so, but I told you so, Mom. So we rented 2 spaces, but quickly that made me feel like the goals that I was setting in weren't, like, we were separated. So we had advanced at one building and we had competitive at the other. And I felt like, who are these competitive children going to look up to? Like, it's such a good thing for them to see what can be and look up to these beautiful dancers. And I didn't like the separation. So we looked and we looked and we looked, and then we found, my sister's husband's a real estate agent. So we moved into this beautiful 10,000 square foot building, and my sister said, we cannot upgrade bigger than this. So I don't get any more space in this. And I like, any guest instructor that comes in, like, walks in, I've never seen a studio this large in my life. I feel completely spoiled. And every day I walk into it, I'm extremely grateful, very grateful for this space. And I feel like it is perfect for years and years to come. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I do want to touch on the point you made there about you know, younger students being able to see what can be, because it sounds like, you know, you had that since you were like 1. Like,
I had my sister
in the basement, and your sister to look up to, and
and
your mom offering the dance, and and I don't know if that inspires any other thoughts, but that connection there I thought was super interesting.
You know, like, I think it's important because in most sports, teams change yearly. So the hockey team you have when you're 12 may not be the same hockey team you have for 13. But in a dance studio, you can literally watch children grow together. And I think the reason why dancers, the graduation rate is so successful, like this year alone I have 10, is because they're able to see the journey, and that, like, yes, times are tough. Yes, it's hard work. But they're able to follow those mentors all the way through. And it is something special to be a part of something that you can grow together with, and the team never changes, like, unless someone moves or someone new comes. But at the end of the day, like, you get to build a separate family that is just, there's nothing like it. I love dance for that. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's really beautiful. Yeah. And I also, your own kids, they dance,
they
compete.
Yeah, all 3 of them,
Yeah, when would that have kind of started in your journey?
Well, our kids, my and my sister's kids started earlier than anybody, because they're called the studio babies. Like, they basically came here, and we had like a nanny that would babysit them. And I was lucky because my husband's a school teacher, so there would be just a small crossover. So I'd throw them in a dance class at 1 year old. So they've been around it their whole life. But luckily, me and my sister, we had 4 girls. So they've grown up together dancing, which, I mean, I think they're closer than normal cousins because of dance and being on a team together. My son, we tried it. He does hip hop, and that's as much dance as he's going to give me, and I'm totally fine with that. He's a sports guy, and that's totally fine. But it's been amazing because we're able to get them. You know, we remember what we were like as dancers, and it's even crazier to see how talented they are and their teammates. It's amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And you know, I think that sounds like it's kind of rounding out your journey to present, unless there's something you want to add there. So unless there's something you want to add there, I'd be like, what is on the horizon for you? And either you personally or you know, Studio Encore?
A goal of mine has always been to, one of the things that has been a long part of my role in the studio is helping families through, you know, having competitive parents, how it is to have a competitive student and the pressures that come from that and the emotions that come from that. Something that I look forward to is eventually maybe helping other studio owners that maybe are new to owning a business, helping them with tools to create a supportive space for their parents and their dancers going through competitive sports. Just with social media now and the pressures of everything, you know, kids are harder on themselves. And I think that, you know, I really had to pay a lot of credit to a lot of the mentors that I had growing up. And I think that would round it out for me is to mentor new young studio owners and be a place for them to call and utilize my experience to help them through things that I've dealt with. So that's something that I would like to, you know, possibly when I'm older, tour and just continue judging. I love judging. So that's something that I really enjoy, but that's something I think would be full circle for me. Yeah. Yeah. And see my kids take over the studio.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Right on.
Yeah. So that's kind of like something that I would like to pay it forward, maybe.
Interesting. And I mean, you know, you mentioned judging.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that? When did that start?
Well, it's more difficult for me to judge than others just because I am in charge of an entire studio. It's to a point now in my career where I don't ask to judge, I get asked to judge.
Right.
So if it works in my schedule and I can fit it in and it is the right fit for me, I'll do it. But my main priority and my main focus will always be my students.
Right.
So I will be there. I will never miss anything for them. So I actually missed a solo competition this year because I was taking my daughter to volleyball in Hawaii. I got to go to Hawaii for volleyball.
Nice.
Daughter's a volleyball player on top of it, and it was it was painful to be away and to not be present, and, you know, not being there for the hugs and the tears. Like, you know, if a kid fell or, you know, it was hard for me. So that's my main priority. Like, I have severe FOMO when it comes to my dancers and being there for them. So again, it just has to work out perfectly that the schedule that my kids don't need me first. And kids, I mean all of my kids, not just my own kids, like all my dancers. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh gosh, I had a question on the tip of my tongue and it just disappeared. Sorry. Earlier you mentioned like parents and that they are also part of the equation.
Absolutely.
And just like the dynamic there.
Absolutely.
And I was just curious if you had any more thoughts on like on working with parents, like that it's not just about the kids, but that you're also navigating the parents and their relationships, and I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of, like, with competitive sports in general, there's a lot of emotions that parents feel watching their children disappointed, or you know, there's level changing, and there's like all kinds of pressures that come with that, and I think it's really important as a studio owner to understand that most of the time people just want to be heard, and it's okay to listen. And I think that being someone that understands what as a teacher, I just feel like it's very important to never forget what it's like to be 15, what it's like to be 14. And I think that the more you can understand, the less conversations you're going to have with parents. And I've always wanted to be a teacher where in 30 years from now, I have a student sitting at the table and she's telling her children that she used to be a dancer. And her memory of me is, oh, she was the best. I don't want to ever leave a student with 30 years from now going, oh, I just want to put that in a file and close it. And I think the more that you're understanding and knowing that, say one student, there's a parent that loves them more than anything in the world, understanding that and making sure that those children feel that way, the more the parents will trust you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. One of the questions we always try and end on with people is just that idea of, you know, how has creativity and maybe dance like changed and shaped your everyday life? It seems like it's been there, a constant in your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, how has that shaped your life, do you think, if you had to try and summarize it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that my relationship with music is really important. I would say that music is the reason why I like to dance. I would say it's might not be for all dancers, or all teachers and dancers, but my passion for music is what makes me a good dance teacher. I love, besides country. Sorry, country
Sure.
stars.
No,
I'm
that's
so
okay.
sorry. I like good old twangy 90s. Besides country, I would say that everything, and it's not that I don't listen to it, it's just not in my playlist.
Yeah.
I love all music very much. And that is what drives me as a dance teacher, because that is what sparks my creativity. I'll be sitting around a fire in the summertime camping, and something will come on my playlist and it sparks something in me. And I'm like, that has to be a piece for me next year. And that's what gives my choreography life. And so I would say it's actually music has inspired my whole career versus actually dance.
Wow.
Dancing in silence would be not the same.
Yeah,
I would say that I would say that probably a lot of dancers would agree that music is what drives the love of dance. So music for me.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we are pretty much out of time. So
Great.
I guess I would just ask, where can people find out more about you and Studio Encore?
We have a Facebook page, Studio Encore Dance Center. Also Instagram is Studio Encore or Studio_Encore. Our website is studioencore.ca. And if you ever looking at joining dance and being a part of a great family, like we're here, and dance is one of the most important things to me, and I feel like everybody can find a place in dance. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's a wonderful sentiment to end off on.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm looking forward to your showcase with Michael here shortly. But yeah, this has been TELUS Storyhives on location in Lloydminster at the Studio Encore Dance Center. My name is Daniel J. Perryman, local theater and filmmaker based in Lethbridge. This is my co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Danielle from Studio Encore Dance Center.
Awesome. We'll be right back, folks.
Welcome to TELUS STORYHIVE on location here in Lloydminster. We're at the Studio Encore Dance Center. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Danielle J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this is
Danielle Neron from Studio Encore Dance Center.
Great. Yeah, Danielle, I really enjoyed the icebreaker segments and then, of course, the interview segment with Daniel and learning about your journey, what you've been through, where you've been, all that sort of thing, and learning about the studio as well. And I know almost nothing about dance, so it's been good to kind of hear some terms and learn a bit. And so this is the showcase portion where we like to show off the work.
Yeah.
I understand we're going to get on these bars here.
Oh.
No, we aren't going to move, thankfully. But we're going to see some images and talk about the dancers or the shows they were in, and just show off some of that kind of work as much as we can.
Yeah.
There's no music though, but that's okay.
Okay.
So I guess the first image we have, it's of Allie.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. What was going on here?
She's competing in Edmonton in a advanced accelerated competition. She did place, and she's a fantastic athletic student. She's actually also she holds records for track and field, so you can tell by her jump that she's very athletic. She's doing a side pitch. She's extremely talented for her age and a really great multi-sport athlete. And she's just a beautiful kid to teach. Love her. Yeah.
And so this competition specifically, what this was in Edmonton, you said?
Yeah, this was Edmonton Evolve. We like Evolve because they also have a provincial. So if you score certain in the tops, you get to compete at provincials against the best of the best. So we like to go that because that allows us to really set our goals high, and it gives the kids something even more difficult really to work for. So it challenges them, and I like that. And it's full of big city studios, and I love going in from like a smaller community and leaving our mark. And she was very impressive that weekend. She was called out by the judges, and I just thought that was a good shot of her.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive seeing it. Like you said, she's very athletic.
Yeah.
It looks very impressive. And even she obviously it looks easy, but she looks like she's working. But and what was the move called?
As a side pitch.
Side pitch.
It's jump. Yeah.
The legs straight
So
out.
basically, she's pitched to the side, right? So that's why it's angled a little bit. So we call that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you work up to a side pitch? Do you
Well, I think the biggest thing to kind of teach your student is the best thing about dance is trying to break down your body. So in order to get your legs that high, you have to think about how can our leg get high quicker than. So if we break our leg down and it has to go straight, right? The quickest way to do it is to drive the kneecap up, because the kneecap is connected to the femur, which is the longest bone in the body, right? So if we drive the kneecap up, then extend, that leg can get up even higher. So there's ways to get there quicker instead of just doing two bat miles and getting it up. You can actually use your body and figure out, well, if you drive the kneecap up higher, it will hinge into the hip, extension out, and that's how we kind of get to that position.
Okay, that's great. I'll have to give that a try sometime. Okay, so rather than thinking about your feet, and that's awesome. Great. Well, it's very helpful and helpful. That's good. Wow. And then I assume how long, roughly, with just one of your dancers, how long would it take to get up to that kind of level where you can do something like that in a competition?
That's an individual type answer. So it depends on the student. I'm here to push them when they're ready and maintain them when that's the journey. I kind of feel like with a female athlete, there's moments where you can push them and we can get them to the next level. And then there's times in their female development where we want to maintain and kind of fine-tune detail things. So it kind of depends on the female's journey when it comes to our female athletes. And it's just my job as their teacher to see when they're ready and when their bodies are ready to be pushed into the next level, into the more advanced skill, and then start fine-tune detailing it, when, their bodies are like, okay, I understand what we're doing here. And so it's kind of my job to read each student individually and see when they're ready for that next step. And that's what I love about a big group, because, if these kids aren't ready to be doing that jump, these kids are, and then these kids could do that turn while these kids do that jump. So it's kind of nice we all, as a team, kind of, use our strengths. So, yeah.
Yeah, and like you said during the interview, it's not a family, but it's very much like you're
Yeah.
there with them all along. So
Yeah.
it's very much
Yeah.
it's not it's competitive like you might have said, but not
Yeah.
like it's helpful as well
Yeah.
and collaborative. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would assume there's a bit of like that. They see other dancers doing it, and they want to aspire to that. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
encouraging others. Yeah, that's
For
great.
sure.
One thought that comes to mind when you just said that, like, and I'm not sure because I haven't looked at your website in depth or obviously been to one of your dance classes. Like, what is the ratio of like male to female dancers at your studio?
I think that depends on the community.
Okay.
And our community is very sports driven for males. We do have a handful of males in our studio, but it is more female driven. We love having male dancers. We see more male dancers in the street division, so like more hip hop and stuff.
Okay.
We do see that, but like, yeah, we do have a few male. My son dances, right? So we do have a few males, but it is more of a female dominated industry.
Okay.
And I think that's because a lot of dance is really focused on like grace and etiquettes and things like that. So it is female dominated, but there's such a great, like dance can be so masculine and so, you know, strong, because if you ever watch like a leading male principal ballet dancer, it's crazy, right? And same with gymnasts, male gymnasts and stuff. So I wish there was more males because there's so much fun you can do with, you know, pas de deux and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is just in our community, it's more female driven. Yeah. But we invite all males. They're all welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's made when you said a female, you're looking at I wondered male female, but okay, that's great. That makes sense. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I think we can move on to our second photo here. Lucia is dancing here. Tell me about this piece.
Well, I shared this one because we did talk a lot about being, like we in the interview process, we talked about me being a mom and having my daughters dance. So this is actually my oldest daughter. She's 14 years old, and she's actually this is the start of her lyrical solo. She is in Saskatoon competing here. Beautiful performance. She's just doing the entrance and about to turn around and start performing. But I love this shot of her. It just makes her look so elongated. She's so stunning in it. And I'm a very proud mom. And like I said, it's a different journey to teach your own children. So that I am very grateful for my staff, because they teach them. It's sometimes nice for them to teach my kids. But yeah, it's been great. So I just wanted to share that picture of her. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't see that's a lovely picture. And yeah, I'm sure, that could be sometimes challenging for you as a mom teaching your own kids. So it's good that you would have other staff there to pull you out of the room when you
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And it was, I mean, you said she's like mid-term, but almost was like a yoga pose or something. But was this like a slower moving piece than maybe the first one we saw?
Well, she's got a bat moth through the back, and she's like in a nice fondue, and she's just.
Remember, I don't know anything about dance.
That's okay. No,
you just said Chinese or whatever.
She's just
slow or fast.
It's a slower dance, so it's a lyrical. So lyrical is based on moving to the lyric. So it needs to be very expressive, and it needs to the movement needs to kind of move with the lyrics of the song. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't know what song was playing.
That song is a cover, actually, and that is a cover of Be My Baby. So it's a slowed down version of Be My Baby. I'm a huge finding 70s and 80s songs and these beautifully redone covers of these young artists that are exploring older music, because I'm such an oldies fan. So I love finding these new revamped versions of my favorites. So so it's great. I loved it. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That brings a question to mind of because I haven't been to a dance competition. So with the music, is you as a group who are, let's say, going to Edmonton?
Yeah.
Are you choosing the music to kind of match each other, or how do you choose the music for a competition?
You so basically how it works is, you look at your schedule for the year and say, I have an accelerated advanced jazz line, which means I have 33 kids in the group. I want to find a piece of music that can match the energy of 33 kids. Okay. I want to find something that matches the way that they have been moving lately. How they, are they kids that are into this kind of stuff? What's interesting them, right? I want to create a piece that they can find joy in, right? I want to find a piece that challenges them. And I also want to find a piece that's different from the last year as well, so that I'm just kind of giving them more to look forward to. And again, that goes back to when I was talking in my interview, something will spark when I'm listening to music. And normally I'm a 70s and 80s gal, so most of my music comes from those playlists, where my other teachers will balance out with maybe some newer music. So my kids can kind of get a little bit, but my students are pretty well prepared that something's coming from my 70s, 80s playlist usually, or 90s. I still love the 90s. I grew up in the 90s. So, but for the most part, that's and then that piece that we choreograph will compete multiple times throughout the year. So nothing's made for the competition. It's made for the season. So we would choreograph that piece and it would compete, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, however many competitions we go into. So, but that's really, and then you also have to look at the age appropriateness of the song as well. And making sure that that song really fits an average age of 12 years old or an average age of 17, 18. Is what I can use for a senior is different than what I can use for a 9-year-old, right? So you just got to really make sure that you understand music, I guess. You can't just throw anything on. You got to do your research. You got to read those lyrics. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I can imagine even, like, I'm sure, like you mentioned, those decades, there might even be different styles that might of even dance within those decades with that music. And
like with your jazz categories, like you can actually play off of like slower music and faster music, but there's a certain style that's there. And then lyrical, like we do want to have something that's like more of a ballad. We want something that's emotional. We want something that the kids can connect to. And then contemporary, it's a little bit more open. It's you can have things that are a little bit wider on the spectrum. And then of course ballet, like you have your demi character, you have character, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, like it's complicated.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to it. Absolutely, yeah. Well, hey, time for another photo. This is our third one, another one, Alicia.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
She's doing another pitch jump, just like a different style, like just kind of showing that like each dancer can execute them a little bit different. She's a little bit higher on the top. So this is just a pitch jump from her contemporary solo, and she's about to land down on the floor. And yeah, just proud mom. Really nice shot of her. Yeah.
This would be a different dance. In that same competition?
Yeah, same competition right in Saskatoon. Yeah.
Oh, great. Nice. I guess we can move on to our fourth photo of this is of Sailor.
Yeah, this is my youngest daughter.
Tell me about all your kids.
So this jump is called a Russian.
Okay.
And this is my favorite jump. Okay. This is my favorite jump. I feel like you get this one, you get all of them. Like I am a firm believer that I like Russians are my favorite. And again, I had talked about before, like the way that I teach Russians is to really utilize the kneecap so that they can get nice and high, tucking the tailbone, connecting the hip and rib. And that's kind of how you execute like you're getting it super high. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that shot because, she's very expressive. And
she's actually the littlest human. Like she's so small and she's so big and things like that. You would never know that she's like the shortest one on her team. She's super tiny.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think you would assume you need a lot of power to get that high and that fast. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And so how do you train that if you need to get that sort of height?
Progressions.
Yeah.
Training your feet, training your ankles, just training. Like what's really important, I think, in dance is to make sure that the kids understand that everything you were taught from the first day you entered in a ballet class, a jazz class, is a progression into every advanced skill you have. And if you can find a way to break down each advanced skill, even because like everybody, forget, like just as like a student in high school, you forget what you learned in math in grade 4. But everything helped you get to where you were into grade 12. And it's the same thing as dance. If you can break that down as like, what did I teach you to get to this advanced skill? Let's break it down. And so that they can remember which muscles are engaged, which skills we taught you to get to here and what you can utilize to make sure that this is executed properly. And like, it's that's kind of how we do it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, it's great to get that insight. And yeah, it's a great photo. I love it. I guess we'll move on to our fifth photo. This is of Macy.
Yeah.
Tell me about what's going on here.
Macy's a 12-year-old. She is just competing in Edmonton, and she just has a nice little split there, just highlighting, flexibility is super important. One of the things that I tell my dancers all the time is the body is crazy, and what we can make it do over time with training and hard work and stretching all the time, because the minute we stop stretching, the body wants to retract to its original form, right? So, you know, you build lots of muscle mass. If you stop working out, you stop taking care of that, it goes back to its original form. So it's very important that dancers continue their stretching through the 12 months, not just when the dance season is there. I mean, you can reduce it, but keeping it maintained is really important. Dancers need flexibility in order for things to feel comfortable. Jumps non-flexible it's not comfortable. So flexibility is a really important to execute all the jumps that we just saw. And again, we have to really encourage dancers and any athlete to continually stretch and keep practicing, or else like your body's going to want to go back to its original form. Yeah.
If you don't use it, you lose it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Yeah. That makes me think of something, because you mentioned just very briefly, just a side comment of like how you would maybe train a senior versus a young person.
Yeah.
Have you ever like taught like an older dancer, like a very old? Like, what was the oldest person that you've
Okay,
taught
I was
dance?
actually on the news for this.
Okay.
Our studio did a Golden Girls tap group, and we had some seniors come in and we called it Golden Girls because it was just a bunch of women wanting to move, and tap is great for memory, and it's great for movement, and it's great for knees and hips and ankles, and it was like, so yeah, I would say like 85. It was a great opportunity. So honestly, like, you can dance whenever you want. You can, you really can. So
I've seen that with dancers I know of that they're in their 70s and plus, and they're doing like swing dancing and stuff. But
it's like riding a bike, you never lose it.
Yeah, it's amazing how that can keep them moving and keep them aging gracefully. Not so many doing so many Russians, but
exactly.
They might. We'll see. That's great. We're almost out of time. I didn't get a chance to like click on your website when you mentioned earlier, so I'm gonna just give a shout out to the website so people can see what that looks like. And I'm not sure what Danielle's going to be scrolling on, so maybe just tell me what sort of things you offer in your class, what classes you offer.
We have our preschool program. So that's just our introduction to dance. We have a pre-competitive division and a competitive and an elite division. So we have a place for everybody. But we have ballet, musical theater, tap, jazz, lyrical, contemporary, hip hop, acro. We have something for any type of personality of child. Everybody can dance. There's a class for everyone. Fast, slow, whatever they want. It's there. And so, we're able to kind of find the right fit for your dancer. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great time. I want to go do some dance. Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
To showcase your work and be here. So
thank you.
Yeah. So this is TELUS STORYHIVE on location here in Lloydminster at Studio Encore Dance Center. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Danielle J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this has been
Danielle Neron from Studio Encore Dance Center.
Thanks so much for watching.